Okay, so I just wanted to show you a couple befores and afters of some pupils of mine whose swings changed. This is Ross. He's a 12 handicapper, current plays at stand. This video here on the left hand side, the swing on the left hand side, was when he first came to me quite a few years ago, and this one on the right hand side was taken in May. So let's have a look at the changes and see how it's affected his impact and his release style. So if we look at the one on the left here, just to start with the address, you can see, even though it's an iron and the one on the right is a wood, it doesn't really make much difference in terms of analysing. You can see the grip here is a lot weaker here on the left hand side. Hands are in a much more neutral position versus the one over here on the right hand side, where you can see both the left hand and the right hand are in a much stronger position to be able to support the club face positions that we're going to try and get him in at the top. So if we just swing this one up here on the left hand side up to the top, just bear with me as well, because this was an older camera that I used to have. It isn't going to be as fast or as many frames as the one on the right hand side. Again, you'll see some of the slight problems with teaching off an iPad or an iPhone, or not having a Casio that goes at a very high frame rate, when you see some of the frames that are missing through the impact area in a second or so. So up to the top of the swing, I actually love the super high arm positions here Ross has got on the left hand side. Nothing wrong with that. The problem I have with Ross's swing up here is this open club face, what Ross does to try and close that. So I'm also going to try and just draw a line here on his left ankle joint, just to indicate how his legs are working and how he's going to rotate in downswing. So if I just run this down, you can see there's a big push to the left hand side here from his downswing. Kind of continues to slide all the way through that. There's not much rotation from the hips going on here. Okay, you can kind of see how the lag has been lost, and his right elbow, his right arm is not getting in front of his body, and he's got a bit of a flippy release. Like I said, this is the problem with using iPads and iPhones and not fast enough cameras, is that you just miss a few of these vital frames through impact. But you can kind of see how he's looking a little bit flippy through the ball and very slidey. Okay, now over here to the one on the right hand side, just swing him up to the top. Okay, one thing I would say is that, you know, in comparing to the back swings, I actually do love Ross's high arm swing over here on the left. You know, there'd be nothing wrong if he wanted to get back to something like that. I'd very much encourage him to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can see on the drive here how he's changed the club face. Okay, and again, we're just going to draw this line up here for his hip as well. Run him into the downswing. You can start to see how he's holding lag and he's holding external rotation here in the right arm, versus over here on the left, where he's going to start to cast this club and start to let those angles go. You can kind of see how he's holding them much more over here on the right hand side. You can see how the body's starting to rotate here over here on the right hand side. The shoulders are starting to steepen. The rib cage is starting to rotate, versus the body that he's sliding on the left and casting the club. You can kind of see how different these two angles look here into the ball. This is very much a drive hold release, the more powerful and most consistent way of hitting the ball, versus sliding and flipping at the ball like the one on the left hand side here. Just as we get it to about here in the downswing, just where the hands are in the middle of the right thigh, and we go to the one on the right hand side here, and again same position, you can now see the difference, how much lag is being held here on the one on the right hand side versus this cast, this early release here on the left hand side. And if you look at the left hip versus the line that I've drawn on, you can see how the left hip is no longer sliding as much as it used to, meaning that he can rotate and use his body more effectively on the one on the right, than this one over here on the left hand side.